How's it going, everybody? My camera is like crooked. How's it crooked? Come on, camera. Is that better? Anybody else having an OCD moment with my camera? Because I kind of am. Okay. Merry Christmas Eve. I did not straighten my hair, so it's looking all Darlene Connor. But some exciting stuff happened yesterday, so I had to come on and tell everybody about it. So we're going to wait for some people to file in here, because I'm sure people are doing Christmassy stuff, and then I'm going to tell you the awesome stuff, and I'm going to make sure I'm out of the way of the rope fish, because they're playing around a little bit down there. You can see them. Probably better if we turn off that light, so there's not as much glare. There you go. Okay, camera is still crooked. Come on, Punchy. How am I not doing this right? There we go. Hashtag blame Punchy. Actually, hashtag blame. I decided at the last minute I was going to use the forward-facing camera instead. I was going to use the backward-facing camera on my phone and see how it turned out, but I was real worried. I was real worried that the audio would not be great because the toddler is here. She is chewing things off the Christmas tree.
Take it. Quit eating the candy. Go.
Punchy says she ordered herself a new coffee mug for Christmas. What does it look like, Punchy? I have my Marvel mug, but I have it turned around so y'all can't get all mad about the Hulk and stuff. Anywho. So, house is getting clean. We're getting ready for Christmas here. I hung a new light for the Bashir tank. What else did I do around here? Fed everybody. Everybody got a water change. It's all going good here. Punchy says you will have to wait and see. It says I have the patience of a saint, blinking innocent eyes. Oh, Punchy. We're going to get into a coffee mug war. Because now I got to find a cool I'm going to sneeze. Oh, man. That just happened. Okay. Who else is in here? HC Aqua, hello. How are ya? Sakana Katana, howdy. Howdy, howdy. I sneezed. I don't know if you caught that. But now I'm like, my sinuses are all messed up. Blue Waters, hello. Ginger Graves, hello. How's everyone doing? I'm glad everyone decided to start filing in right as I sneeze. Anyway, so, good morning. Merry Christmas Eve. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Crystal Shack, hello. Vinotsky Tank, hello. Sandy, Clay, how's everybody doing? I'm having coffee and thinking about the exciting phone call that I got yesterday. So, now that I've sneezed and I'm ready to go, who wants to hear about my exciting phone call? Anywho. So backstory on this phone call. I did a lot of research on ropefish. And when I mean a lot, I mean I contacted people, I was annoying to people, trying to get any and all information about the water they come from, the area they come from, what the native people have actually seen this fish do, the collection of these fish. I contacted importers, and I had an importer send his guy that collects for him. So what happens is the villagers actually collect the rope fish because they're way out in, you know, the middle of nowhere. They're actually on the west coast of the African, what do they call that? It's the Delta. They are in the Niger Delta. They're in a place called the Udu Nation, is where a lot of them come from. It's where the ones came from that I believe that I have, and that the information that I got from the importer came from is from the Udu Nation. Please tell me you're going to collect ropefish in Nigeria. Yeah, right. I am not, number one, terrified of planes. Number two, tiny white chick. Wouldn't do well there, I don't think, unless I had some serious help. Anyway, so the ropefish come from these two different spots in Africa. One of them is the Udu Nation, specifically Ogbe Udu, Ogbe Udu, I believe it is. And So I did a ton of research, and I contacted a bunch of people. I contacted this importer. He sent his villager out. So, I was telling about the villagers. The villagers go out, and they have like a whole setup. Like, that's how they feed their families. They collect these fish. So they go out and they make these reed traps, and I've got pictures of those that I'll figure out how to get into a video one day when I do like a full rope fish video. And they've got these bamboo traps that they like almost float in these marshes, and they bait them with earthworms, and the rope fish go in there. They collect the rope fish, then they keep the rope fish in these like their little places where they're at, and then it takes them a couple of days to actually transport them into the city to the guys that export them out to the fish hobby. So I contacted the exporter, who gave a very junk cell phone camera to his villager, who took it back and got me a bunch of pictures from in there. So I've got like a ton of information. So while I was doing all that research, I also contacted this scientist in Nigeria. He specializes in rope fish. Like, he did all of his doctorate studies and all that on rope fish. And his name is Dr. Asuko. So when I first contacted him, I didn't get a ton of information because he wanted to know what I wanted information for, and he wanted to know, what school I was with, and I was like, I'm not with a school, I'm just a hobbyist. I'm working on this big project where I'm trying to breed these rope fish, and that was probably 3 or 4 months ago.
Wow.
So we talked a little bit. He kind of told me that the reason that they don't breed in captivity is because of the big change in their environment, is what he thought. And he wanted to know if I had ever seen fingerlings, which fingerlings is basically the stage in between, like, the larva stage when they first hatch out of the egg, and they become a fingerling, and then they become a rope fish. So it's basically just them getting bigger. They have those external gill things, I think, like a little bit. So that's a fingerling. He wanted to know if I had any of those. I said, no, I've never seen one of those in the hobby. They don't make it over here. And he said it's because they don't survive on commercial feeds. Then he kind of stopped talking to me. And I was like, well, I guess that's all the information I'm going to get from awesome sciencey guy, right? So yesterday, I'm sitting around doing Christmassy stuff and cleaning the house. My husband went to go drop, your husband who's right there coughing his head off. My husband went to go drop my kid off because we were going to work some more in the basement. And she was going to go make candies with Grandma and Grandpa. And I got a Facebook message, and it just said, hi. And I was like, oh, and it was from Dr. Asuko. So I said hi back, and he asked how I was, and I was like, I'm good, how are you? And he said that Hamatin was getting very cold and windy, and Hamatin is a season in Africa. I think it's pronounced Hamatin. I could totally be butchering that. It starts with an H. It's a season that they have during, like, December to March, or January to March, something like that, where it's just winds. It's just super dry winds. So think about, we get all the cold north winds here in Indiana or in the U.S. The cold winds come down, and we have the lake effect, so we get a lot of snow and rain and that kind of stuff. Well, they don't have that. They just have the wind. So it's a big windy, dry, kind of cold season for them. So we were talking about that. Then all of a sudden, the video feature for Facebook Messenger goes off. And I'm like, oh, he's video chatting me right now. So I'm like, a little bit nervous. And I'm like, okay. So we end up having a 45-minute video chat. It was very, very spotty connection. His connection wasn't very good. I'm not sure where he's at in Nigeria, but his connection was not very good. And basically, he is going to help me breed these rope fish. He wants me to do 2 things over the next couple of months to kind of up my game. And one of those is increasing temperature, and the other one is increasing the population. So I'm already going to be increasing the population with the rope fish pond. So long story short, we're going to fast track the rope fish pond within the next month or 2. Hopefully within the next month. We're going to have the Ropefish Pond fast tracked. I'm going to put in a big order for some ropefish, and we are going to do this right with the backing of a scientist who is helping me, who is actually in Nigeria and has studied this fish. And the coolest thing that he said that when we were talking, because I asked him why he studied ropefish. Like, why did he decide that ropefish was the thing he wanted to do of all the things that he could do? And he said, because people run from the fish. Now, there's not like a language barrier between us, but there's definitely... Americans talk with a lot of slang and innuendo, and there's a lot of meaning behind the inflection that you put on a word. So, when you're talking to somebody who's from a completely different country and who is using your language, you kind of have to read into it a little, I think. So when he said people run from the fish, and that's why, that makes me think that, like, maybe there's a fear base around that fish in Nigeria, like, you know how people are, like, afraid of, like, spiders. Spiders aren't bad, but, like, if you see a spider in your house, you're gonna step on it and kill it, type thing. Or, like, possums. Some people are afraid of possums just because of the way they look. So that made me think that maybe the reason he chose to study this fish is because people are actually, like, a little bit afraid of this fish when they see it. Like, oh, maybe it's a snake, or oh, maybe it's dangerous, or something like that. So I thought that was really interesting, but he kept saying things like, this is going to be beautiful, we're going to do this beautiful thing together, and I'm going to help you, and everything's going to be okay, and we're going to breed this fish. So, hopefully everything he said was sincere. Hopefully the information that he's already given me gets me started off right, and then once we get this population increased, and we increase the temperature, and I'm not even telling you guys about the temperature thing yet, because that's going to be a whole nother deal, because it's insanity, the temperature that he wants me to increase these things to. Like, it makes sense. I was looking, I actually have, you know how on your phone, it has the weather app, like on an iPhone, it has weather, and it tells you, like, the temperature, and what it's going to be the rest of the week, or whatever. Actually, while I've been researching the ropefish, and while I was researching the ropefish, set up that app on my phone. You know, you can add different cities and stuff to it. I set the Niger Delta in there so that I know what's going on, where my fish come from every day. So I checked it after he was telling me about the temperature, and it's not going to get below 72 at nighttime for the next week. Like, that's the low temperature at, like, midnight, 72. Highs are in the hundreds. Doesn't get below, like, in the 90s all day. So that could really make some hot water. Plus, these fish come from shallow, slow-moving marshes. So I started thinking about that, and I was like, you know what? I bet that is real hot water compared to something that was deeper or moving or flowing or didn't have as much vegetation. I mean, they come from these, like, marshes, so it's gotta be hot in those marshes. So that's something to think about. Anyway, so what do y'all think? I have not been looking at the chat because I've been rambling. I've been super stoked about this phone call ever since I got it. Oh, Cichlid King is here. Hello, Cichlid King Aquatics. Hello, Jack Betts. Hello, Reels Tanks. Anybody else? Pet Statics here. Aqua Noob. Ken's here. Blue Waters. I already said Blue Waters. Little Largemouth said, I thought I was the only one the Nigerian princes emailed. Yeah, he's not a prince. He's a scientist. I literally, when I was doing my research, I was looking up, I basically started by looking up exporters. And from there, I started looking up, like, any scientific paper that anyone had ever written that included the word ropefish, reedfish, or Pictus calabaricus, or Calamaricus calabaricus, which was the old name that they had for it, before it actually got named. So, I started there, started looking into papers. I found a bunch of different papers that I read, and one of the papers that I found was his paper that he wrote. So then I decided I was going to take my research a step further and start contacting the people that wrote these papers. So Rolf Brett's in the UK wrote a paper about when he spawned his rope fish and he couldn't get them to stay alive past 19 weeks. It was in tropical fish keeping. So I actually wrote to tropical fish keeping and had them write to Rolf Brett's to get his tank parameters because they weren't included in the article. So I got that back from him, and then I emailed this guy that is in Nigeria, Dr. Asuko, about the paper that he wrote. And I said, can you, extrapolate on any of this? And then I actually found him on Facebook, and I sent him a Facebook message because I didn't hear anything back about my email, and I'm super persistent. So I sent him a message on Facebook, and then that whole story that I just told kind of ensued. So that was super, super cool. So when people say do your research, don't just Google and look at what Wikipedia says and look at what the tank parameters are on the different websites and that kind of thing, because let me tell you something. The temperature he told me to increase these to is not on any single site that gives tank parameters for keeping rope fish. So all that information that's out there that says what you have to do to keep a certain fish, do your research. Be the fish and do your research. So, Reels Tank says, story's awesome, I didn't want to break it up. Yeah, I was so excited that he actually is going to help me now. Like, before it kind of seemed like he was afraid that I was like another scientist trying to like do something on the back of his work or something, because he kept kind of explaining to me how much he paid to go to school and how much how much work he put into this doctorate. And I was like, no, I'm not trying to take any of your stuff. I'm not trying to write a scientific paper. I'm literally trying to figure out how to keep this fish on the planet, because their habitat is being destroyed. They only come from 2 places in the entire planet, and they're both in that spot in Africa. One's up here, one's down here a little bit. That's the only place they come from. They have they're 20 million years into the fossil record. So this fish dates back 20 million years ago to the time where animals came out of the water and onto land. They are, I don't want to sit here and say they're the missing link, but they are a link from that. And to study that, we need to study this fish, and nobody's studying this fish. And if we can't tank breed them, and they destroy that area of the delta, they're gone. And that would be the saddest thing ever, because these are the most amazing fish in the world. So, we have to save the rope fish, and in order to do that, unfortunately, we have to put them in glass tanks and try to breed them in glass tanks, because if we can't figure out how they breed, if we don't know enough about this fish. We don't know enough about 90% of the stuff that happens in water. Water is like life. That is where life
Exists.
all happens. It's where stuff changes and moves around and evolves, and we know nothing about it because we're too busy up in space trying to figure out what's out there to figure out what's on our own planet. So, hashtag save the rope fish. Jaden's singing Jingle Bells because Christmas Eve. She's very excited for Christmas. Hey Jaden, why don't you come tell everybody Merry Christmas and then go finish cleaning your room?
It's already clean.
It's already clean. Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Say Merry Fishmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Fishmas. Ha ha ha. I said Merry
Keep your mouth
Fishmas.
closed.
Close your mouth.
Close your mouth, Jaden.
Open your mouth. Close your mouth. Open your mouth. Close your mouth. Open your mouth. Close your mouth. Alright, now go finish cleaning your room. Say bye-bye.
Hi.
No, say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. Santa's watching you. You better listen to Mommy and Daddy.
Hi.
Santa can hear you. He sees you when you're sleeping. And he knows when you're awake. Hey. Siglin King Aquatics says 37 people and 4 likes. What up with that? What up with that, people? Can you get some Christmas likes? Punchy says Christmas when your kids are little is the best. Yeah, she makes Christmas super fun now. I'm kind of like Scrooge though. Like, Other than the fact that I love to give presents, like the best presents, like I love to find that one thing that you're like, I didn't know I needed that, but that's amazing. That's the only part about Christmas that I really like. It's just an excuse for people to spend a lot of money and make me have to go everywhere and do everything. But I get to see my family, and we get to drink and have fun and make fun of each other, so that's a good time. Yeah, she's super excited about the Christmas deal. And I am super excited to take some naps. Punchy says, I pretty much didn't do Christmas this year. You bought yourself a new mug? That's Christmassy. Sometimes you gotta get your own flowers, Punchy. That's just life. Nobody loves you like you and me. Crystal Shack can't see the like button with the chat on. She's on her cell phone, so nobody worry about her. She's gonna hit that like button. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm not really worried about it, Crystal Shack. I'm just glad you're here hanging out with me on Christmas Eve. Cyclid King Aquatic says, I'll be by myself for Christmas this year. Is that a blessing or a curse? Think about it. Think real good about it. Yeah, my Christmas present this year was a phone call from Nigeria, and I'm cool with that. All the rest of the stuff I got for myself. Wasn't a surprise, had to get it. Like my laptop and my camera. That was my two. It's the first time I've spent money on myself in a long time, and I needed both those things. Don just got here and he hit the like button. Punchy says, me too, Cyclid. Kids are grown, working today and tomorrow. I have one daughter in town and she's working both days too, yeah. Call somebody and tell them you love them, though. That's the best part. Hey, Phoenix Aquatic, what's up? Ginger Graves is going to be with her fish and her cats. Are you getting your fish or your cats Christmas presents? My fish are all getting some spirulina brine shrimp cubes for Christmas morning. Not that they need them, but they're spoiled. I saw a rope fish when I went to the pet store yesterday. It was at, I won't say which pet store because they're alright, but whatever. There was one rope fish that they had. It was in a 10-gallon tank with a blue crayfish. It was pencil thin, and all I could think of was, I need to buy this rope fish and take it home and save it. And I sat there for probably 20 minutes staring at that rope fish, trying to decide where the hell I would quarantine it. Because currently my quarantine tank is set up with Lucas's plant, the other half of it that's not in the rope fish tank, and 3 very small fish fry, 2 of which are probably Congo tetras, and 1 of which I think might be a rainbow fish. So if I put a rope fish in there, those guys are toast. I don't have another tank that I could have quarantined it in. I could have thrown it in with either the long fins or the trilineatus, but that is a big risk to them and also to the rope fish. So I had to leave it there in the tank with the blue crayfish. And it was the saddest thing that ever happened. So, I'm very happy that the Nigerian guy called because that totally perked me up, because all I've been thinking about for the last 24 hours is that poor little rope fish that is sitting in a tank with blue crayfish, being a small little rope fish that doesn't know where the heck he's at. Dansley says that's when those cheap totes by Sterilite come in handy. Instant QT. Yeah, I know, but I don't have an extra heater because my QT heater's in with that plant, and it's like, I'm in a holding mode right now, man. I gotta get those fry back up to Lucas. Those are his fry. He should have to deal with them. But I don't want to move them yet because I'm worried if I move them too soon and they're so little that something will happen. Hashtag ropefish problems, right? If they were smaller, you could QT them, you know, just real easy and if they weren't predators, you could QT them with other things, and if they blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I always have a 10-gallon tank ready to QT, and right now Lucas has used up my QTC. It's already eaten up my tank space. It's no good. Oh, what else is going on? Ginger Graves, good idea. Why haven't I thought of that? Yeah, Sterilite tote. I've got 3 of them. I could have used one if I had the heater. But I don't have the heater. And apparently these things need to be on the surface of the sun as far as heat's concerned, now that I've talked to this guy from Nigeria, so, like, ugh. I got problems over here. I got awesomeness, and I got problems, and it's all good. What's going on back there? See this? This is why you need floating plants or stuff at the surface when you have ropefish. That's what they do. They just hang out right up here. Just gets himself over the top of a plant or something, chills. That's why they need the pond, because they need more surface space on the top and more surface space on the bottom and some places to hang out. My dad's got the frame already ready to go for the ropefish pond, and I called him and told him we have to fast track the crap out of it because come January, I'm going to put in an order, a big order for a big old box of ropefish. Big old box. So here's the next thing we got to decide, guys. I can either online order these ropefish and have them straight imported here. Last time I did that, it was very risky. They did not package them individually, and we ended up with some fungus in the QT, and I lost 2 of them. Second option, I can find out if the LFS can order them for me, have them brought into there, and go pick them up there. Third option, there's another LFS that I trust that's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away that I could have do that. Which one would you do? How large is the pond? I think it is, I don't know, it's my mom got it to put in the back of her yard, and she knew I'd been looking for a pond, but she wanted one too, and she got this one for free, so I commandeered it, so I got it for free. But it's like the one that has like the step down in it. What is that, like 80 or 100 gallons, something like that, I want to say. Dan says I'd avoid the LFS. I'd find a good transshipper that does it right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was not real happy with that shipment, Crystal Shack. They shipped 3 very large ropefish in one bag that was about this big, and they shipped 2 in a bag the same size. And of the 3 in the one bag all together, plus the water was like weird blue color, and they were super like sedated. And of the 3 in the one bag, only 1 of them survived. So I ended up with 3 out of a 5 shipment. 2 of the ones in that bag with 3 kicked it. I was so mad. Hey Tampa Tom, what's up? Anthony's Fish Friends, how's it going? Merry Christmas Eve. How you guys doing? We're talking ropefish and ropefish pond and fast tracking the ropefish pond because I've been talking to people in Nigeria, well, a person in Nigeria. Dan's Fish imports from Africa. Maybe he could help, says Jack Betts. Yeah, I'm going to call Dan's Fish. Maybe we'll do a collab, get these ropefish in here. OOTD Clan, what's up? Tampa Tom just left his LFS and he found some wasser tang. That stuff is cool if you can get it to grow the way you want it to. First time and only time I've ever had some wasser tang. I had a big old chunk of it. I was trying to get it to like grow the whole bottom, and it just like spread everywhere in the tank. It drove me nuts. Dan Lee says that sounds like my last messed up import. Let's put hundreds of rabbit snail adults in 2 containers. Yeah, like why do they think that they can put so many things in one bag? I understand it saves shipping. Charge me more shipping. individually package my fish. Thank you. And maybe not snails, but don't put so many in the bag, man. Yeah, they only think about saving and making money. Ted Hawk says, Merry Christmas, Haley. I hope you're overrun with many young ropefish for the new year. I hope I am overrun with many sexually mature ropefish for the new year. Because from what I've read, I didn't talk to the guy from Nigeria about this yet, but from what I've read, they take a long time to reach sexual maturity, like years. And they live for like 20 years, and it takes like 5 to 10 to get them there, and I want big ones. When they send them in, I want them big, I want them healthy, I want them fat, and I want more females than males, apparently. That's the other thing we talked about, is he said he wants the population increased, and he wants a larger quantity of females, because apparently I'm going to colony breed them. So, we shall try it. Dan says it's usually the trans shippers that repack and screw everything up. Yeah. So, somewhere in the process of getting fish here, if you're not dealing with fish people, the non-fish people will do everything they can to save money and not give two craps about your fish. OOTD clan, I'm ready to give up on this dry start method and start again. Yeah, dry start. Forget that. The thing that makes me so confused about people dry start, I get it. You can make a beautiful aquascape with it. It's a really cool, nerdy way to just really nerd out on your plants. My problem with the dry start method is we are constantly dealing with, in the hobby, the conversion of plants from immersed to, why can't I speak? From out of the water to into the water growth, right? So you get the plants from the farms, they've all been grown out of water, and then you put them in your tank and they melt back and they look like crap, and some people throw them away because they think they're dead, but really they're just transitioning, right? And Corey transitions his plants for us, which is awesome, but most stores and stuff like that don't do that. So when you do a dry start method, all I can think of is you're doing the whole thing. You're growing the plants out of water, then you flood it, then you got to go through the whole transition again. Why don't you just buy already transitioned plants? Let's see. Anthony's Fishy Friends. Wow, one of my LFS asked me if I'm going home since I'm often buying while working. They then bag all fish separately. Right. People that want to know, like, are you going straight home with these fish? Are these going to sit for a minute? Do we need to put oxygen in them? Those are good fish people. Dansley. Thank you, Dansley. Immersed out of water. Immersed inside water. Thank you, Dan. It's Christmas Eve. I'm tired. I need to finish this coffee. I got 16 billion things to do. I told my husband I was going to do a half-an-hour live stream because I want to talk to my fishy people. And it's already over a half an hour and I'm still going, and I've got places to be, and viva la Fishmas. OOTD says, well, I started with tissue cultures and it was mainly just to prevent the carpet from floating like last one. Yeah. Tissue cultures, are tissue cultures grown immersed or immersed, Dansley? Now I know. You keep helping me, because I need that. I need somebody here. We'll just make you blue so that I can see what you're telling me. There you go. Keep me saying the right words, Dan. Plus, apart from the plants I bought from Sweden, everything else I buy online arrives dead. Yeah, that's a rough one. That's why I buy a lot from hobbyists. Like, unless I'm trying to get something very specific, like my roguefish order, I just see what other hobbyists have around me that's been in Indiana, that's been grown here, that's been grown by people from our club, or by Lucas, or people, you know. I try to stick kind of close to my water, if you will. Just helps. Okay, here you go. The tissue culture plants are a closed environment but immersed technically. Humidity is usually high enough above the nutrient gel that they don't transition much. Cool. Tampa Tom, there's 3 pink flamingo crypts in tissue culture at the LFS. I don't feel confident I could grow them, so I didn't grab one. Go back there and get them. Pink flamingo crypts are the awesomest. Jaden's playing with a ball. Go back there and get those pink flamingo crypts and grow a bunch of them and then send me some because I want them so bad. But I also am not confident I could get them to turn pink and grow like I want them to. We can do it together. I get 90% of my plants from my local club auction, says Don Gallagher. Yeah, local clubs for life, man. Because sometimes you can get some junk there, and sometimes you can get some awesome stuff there. I did hear something funny the other day. Who was I listening to? I was listening to somebody talk about club auctions, and they said that they're now seeing when people bring convict cichlids to club auctions because nobody wants them, that they're actually... Jaden, shh. That they're actually putting money, like a $1 bill or a $2 bill in there to pay for the auction underneath the label so that people are like, here, they're free. Just take them. Bid $1, they're yours. Fishy Mailman says, basically they're clones grown in a nutrient-rich agar instead of a womb, if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I haven't done the tissue cultures, mostly because I don't really aquascape. Like, don't get me wrong, I put plants places where I think they would look good, but I don't have time for it. Like, I love my jungles. Jungle it up. The junglier, the better. If I had my way, you wouldn't even be able to see into this tank, because it'd just be plants, and then occasionally you'd see a rope fish look at you, and then sneak back into the forest. Aquanoob says, oddball, what club are you in? I live in Indiana too. Circle City Aquarium Club. We meet once a month. Come join us. It's fun. $20 a year. All the fishy friends and folks you could want. We have an auction after each meeting, a mini auction. And that's for like stuff that people have brought in for the Breeders' Award program and the Horticulture Award program, or just stuff people want to get rid of and donate to the auction. You can bring stuff into the auction if you're a member and auction it off, and then you get a split with the club for the money. You get BAP points for if you breed stuff, you follow the rules, and you bring in, like, for guppies, if you want to BAP guppies, you have to bring 10 guppies at 60 days old into the club to the auction. They auction them off, they give you your points. They also bring speakers in, so like that's where I got to actually see Gary Lang talk, because he came and did a speech at our club. That's how I got eggs from him that I proceeded to totally botch, because it's where I met Lucas Bretz, because he is a part of that club, and I actually did not know he was a part of that club for the first 2 meetings that I went to. And then I'm sitting there listening to the speaker, and somebody walks in right in the middle of the speaker. Jaden, I need you to use your inside voice, please. So somebody walks in right in the middle of the speaker, and I'm like, who's showing up this late, walking into the middle of the speaker? I look back, and I'm like, oh, that's Lucas Bretz. What's he doing here? I didn't even know he lived in Indiana. So, that happened. And then, let's see, what else happened? I'm gonna deal with something here. Yeah. So yeah, met Lucas that way, approached him like a nerd and was like, hi, I'm trying to breed my rope fish. Can you recommend some plants that would float at the top of the surface and not be horrible? Yeah. Do 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 do. Anywho, so yeah, that's how I met Lucas, and then what else? That's how I learned about Cory cat breeding. That's how just kind of join your local club. It's where you learn stuff. It's where you get stuff. It's where I got my black metal jacket guppies, my long fin Corys, Bunch of my plants. Local clubs rock. Dansley says Shrimp Jesus is always running late for meetings. Yeah. He usually walks in about a third of the way through the speaker when he goes to a meeting. So, he's just there for the auction at the end. Daval says, don't mess with Nigerian. Yeah. Don't mess with the Nigerians. No, they're super, super nice. The guy I'm talking to is super, super nice. So, I'm not too worried about it. Tampa Tom says, yeah, I probably should have bought them at $11.99 each. I'll buy them on Wednesday if they're still there. You better... $11.99 for a pink crypt. What were you thinking? Go get those. Dansley says, yeah, that really is the main benefit of tissue culture, knowing that you're getting just the plant, not the hitchhiking microbes. That, and it makes shipping, keeping them in shops, awaiting sales more convenient, keeping them in good shape. Yeah, see, it's like half money, half for us. You know what I'm saying? Plus, why wouldn't you want hitchhikers? Like, for all the risk of getting, like, Hydra or Planaria or something evil that comes in on a fish or a plant or something, or not a fish, but on, like, a plant or something, you get more good stuff than you do bad. Heck, with Lucas's stuff, you got a chance of getting, like, super rare rainbow fish eggs that hatch out in your tank randomly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love... That's how I got all of my snails. I have never bought snails. Ever. I got bladder snails with one purchase of plants. I got one ram's horn that came in on another plant I bought. Then I got some more ram's horn that came in on some other plants that I got. And it just... never had to buy them. Duval says, are you American? Faux show. Faux show American. For sure. Indiana... Indiana Hoosier landlocked American right here. I've never even seen the ocean. Hoosier. Okay. Priscilla says, you just get planaria when you overfeed. I don't overfeed. I don't have planaria. I actually don't have planaria. Everything in here would eat it if I had it.
It's 240.
Okay, it's 2:40. Oh, I'm getting the flashing red light. We gotta answer some questions to wrap this up. Fishy Mailman says, Dansley, one of my LFS likes to plant them with the rhizome all the way under the gravel, so 50-50 if they do well. We're still talking pink crypts? God, I want pink crypts. Crystal Shack says, I love duckweed. I sell it and it converts to bread and butter. Duckweed. Oh, duckweed. I've almost got it eradicated from my fish room. I'm still OCD picking it out of 2 tanks. And Crystal Shack switched to her laptop and hit the like button. That's my girl. Let's see. Sakana Katana, I got a tiger nearite snail as a hitchhiker on my Nubius plant. That's a score. Heck of a score. Duval, where are you at? He says it's 1:13 a.m. here. Where are you at where it's 1:13 a.m.? OOTD clan. Oh, I agree. I wouldn't do tissue cultures if I had a better option. I mean, out of the 5 shops within over 2 hours, only even one ever heard of Java Moss, right? The closest pet store to me is a Pet Smart. Not so smart. Second closest thing that I can go to is an Uncle Bill's. And they are about halfway knowledgeable. Not so much, but they get by. There's one guy there that I really, really like. He's a super good guy. Helps me out. I mean, he doesn't like help me knowledge-wise, but he helps me with like using their store to my benefit. And then the next closest actual like good LFS that like is good is the Reef. And that's in another half an hour north from me. And then if I really want like the A+ super awesome LFS, then I've got to go 2 hours to Lafayette and go there because they've got a sweet setup. I'm doing a snail cycle in my new tank, says Sakana Katana. It's funny. Deval says it's top secret from the FBI. Fine. Be that way. Okay. Daryl's here. Hello, Daryl. Merry Fishmas. Merry Fishmas Eve. Rewatch if you want to hear my story about talking to a dude in Nigeria. Yeah, Dan, you just noticed that? Be good, Dan. Be good. Watch out, world. Dan Slee's a moderator. It's over. Dwayne Timberlake wanted to check in and give me a like. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Dwayne. Merry Fishmas. Happy holidays. Whatever you do, happy holidays and all that stuff. Okay, so it's 2:46. I got about 5 more minutes here before I gotta kill this because I got to be at family at 4 and I still gotta finish cleaning this house. It looks like my husband got most of it done. And then I gotta become Santa later. Dan said, yeah, sorry, work called, was half paying attention for a few there. Yeah, Dan, like you got bumped up, you didn't even know it. Deval says, you are in future. I am not in future. I am in now. I live in the now. Because the future is unwritten. And the past, we already done did that. So, we gotta move on. Alright, Aquanoob's gotta go. See you later, Aquanoob. Merry Fishmas. Hope you had a good time. You be good. Hope you get all the presents you wanted or whatever. Everybody go feed your fishies some Christmas foods and all that stuff. Dansley wants to know if I've ever ordered from Tannin Aquatics. No, but I'm planning to for the ropefish pond because they are going to need a bunch of... I usually get catappa leaves from Corey at Aquarium Co-op, and I'm going to probably order some stuff from Tannin Aquatics just to really natural up the ropefish pond. Don Gallagher does not like duckweed. No, I don't either. Oh, Crystal Shack, he's talking about you. You're 18 hours ahead of us because you're in New Zealand. That's right. Because you're on the other side of the world. So you are in the future. How is it's already Christmas there, isn't it? Is it already Christmas there? Are you Christmasing it up? Are you watching me on Christmas? God, I love you. You're so sweet. Fishy Mailman says, I do need to feed the L134 some salad shrimp. Yeah, go get it. Go get that salad shrimp. Yeah, Crystal Shack's already into Christmas. She's already there. Fat man already been there. I was tracking him on NORAD earlier for my kid. Anybody got any cute things they do for kids with the Santa thing that I could pull off in the next like 20 minutes for her? I've been looking at like all the online like call Santa stuff. It all looks real janky. I don't know who that is, Deval. I don't know people. Dansley, if you need any suggestions for botanicals that are lighter on the tannin load but great for biofilm, well, let me know. I'm not sure yet. Stay tuned because in 2 months, once I get this thing up and running, I'm going to talk to Dr. Asuko again, and we're going to go over, because he mentioned possibly changing up the food that I'm using, even though he likes that I'm using frozens and like actual foods. He thinks it probably needs to go to live, and I need to start sourcing it from somewhere else. And I'm also going to have to figure out what the babies eat once I actually get babies. So we're going to talk about that too, and that may involve some botanicals. My snails, shrimp, cories, and plecos will love them too. Yeah, they already love biofilm. Snails love biofilm. You want to know what the funnest thing to watch a snail do ever is ride the very top surface eating biofilm. You're like, what are they even holding on to? And they're holding on to the water tension. So cool. Opening Batman of New Zealand. Batman of New Zealand. Oh wait, Link Tone. What are you saying, Link Tone? What am I putting at the front door? Some kind of present? We do a Christmas Eve box around here, so there's gonna be a box on the front door that's from Santa when we get home from our family, and it's got like some pajamas and a movie and popcorn and a peppermint stick and hot chocolate and the night, 'twas the night before Christmas book, so she opens all that. So that's what we do right before to get her into bed, and then we put the milk and cookies out for Santa and all that jazz. And then she goes to bed, and Mommy and Daddy get drunk and build the giant dollhouse that we bought. Shh, it's PG-13. Because that thing's gonna be a pain in the neck to put together. It's got like 5,000 pieces. Dan says, yeah, and just FYI, when I say biofilm, I mean more than just the type on the surface of the water, more in terms of underwater surface area covered in microbes. Yeah, that's what I use the catappa leaves for, so you can use those other botanicals and stuff to do that too, I would assume. Because that's what, like, shrimp, like the alder cones and stuff. That's why people use those, like, little mini alder cones. Crystal Shack Aquatics. So to wrap up this live stream, she has to fast track the ropefish pond and order more ropefish. Thank you very much, Crystal Shack. See, we could have done that in 5 minutes. It took me 51. You did it in 30 seconds. Good job, girl. Where's your YouTube channel? Don says I should have changed my channel name to Duckweed Hater. Yeah, me too, dog, because forget duckweed. Duckweed and reishi. You know it's just as bad as duckweed? Reishi. Lucas has reishi everywhere in his fish room, and I'm like, you got some reishi on your arm there, and I'm like, no kidding, because it just had to catch all the guppies out of that reishi tank. Barbara Jackson, hi Haley and everyone. So this is a Nigerian scientist and not a Nigerian prince. Yes, Barbara, if you're just turning in, his name is Dr. Asuko. And I had a phone call with him yesterday, and you'll have to rewatch it because the kid is losing her mind, and I'm kind of got to wrap this up a little bit. But yeah, had a phone call with him that I've been talking to. He's a ropefish expert. So, Crystal Shack, I've watched your channel. Come on now. I just don't have time for anything ever. Plus, I forget things, and things just come out of my mouth. Priscilla, in Switzerland, Santa has nothing to do with Christmas. Santa comes on St. Nicholas Day, which is December 6th. If you're good, you get treats. If you're bad, you get Krampus. Krampus spankings.
Oh, lashings and kidnapping.
Krampus is bad. Deval said the YouTube algorithm brought him here. Welcome. Welcome to my oddness. Hope you're ready. Sandy wants to know how many ropefish we're getting. I'm at least putting in an order for 10. 10 more. That'll put me up to 15. Oh, I'm super odd. You just wait. Stay tuned, Deval. Let's see. On Christmas, the 24th, the Christmas child comes and gives you your presents. Who's the Christmas child, Priscilla? That's creepy. Then again, is it creepier than an old man coming in your house and giving you presents? I know in Holland they do the wooden shoes, and you put your shoes out, and he puts presents in your shoes, St. Nicholas. Dan Slee says he's got an idea that might work on an importer. Hit me up and we can discuss. I will do so as soon as the holidays are over, because I gotta get through this Christmas thing. It is 2:54, which means I have 1 hour to finish cleaning this house, get myself ready, and get over to my family's house so that I can stop talking about fish, because they'll yell at me if I talk fish the whole time. Christmas child, some blonde kid with angel wings and a halo. Let him in. Bring me some stuff, Christmas kid. What's up? Christmas kid? So it's like, like a cherub? Valentine's Day? Cupid? Except he brings presents instead of shoot you with an arrow that indebts you to life to somebody else. Yeah, traditions are weird. We just do them. You know, some of them I don't do. Some of them I forget about.
Yeah, we don't do Halloween.
We do Halloween. We do Halloween so good. Anyway, alright. Duval says I'm unique. It doesn't make me odd. Odd and awkward. Super unique. Stay tuned. Things are gonna get weird. Oh man, they're brushing her hair. Anyway, later all you fishy people. I gotta go. Like, subscribe. Have a good Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve, Merry Fishmas, all that stuff. Y'all stay classy. Thanks for stopping by. Later, Punchy.